I am back! Yes, I am not done reviewing Dragon Ball Super, even though I was really disappointed with the last arc, and I said I might not come back, but, I'm back, and, I guess a lot of people thought, I was just done, because I haven't reviewed, any of these episodes. The reason for that being is, well, they were filler episodes, they really didn't have a lot to offer me to talk about, so I was just I'll just wait till, all three come out, and then I'd have enough, to say to fill, an entire video, because I didn't like the idea of making, a 3-minute review, and then, a 5-minute review, and, a 6-minute review, or something like that. I just wanted to make, one longer review and say, fuck it. So that is what I am doing. Saying fuck it to that, and making this one longer video. First off, we have episode 68. It's, Goku finally decides to wish Kaio back, and then everyone decides that they want to wish too, and shenanigans happen, and then Kaio doesn't get wished back because reasons. I had absolutely nothing to say about this episode. It's not bad, I got really nothing out of it. I didn't find it particularly funny. I thought the whole thing was kind of ridiculously contrived, and honestly, I'm already not a big fan of the whole, Kaio wants to be wished back thing, because Kaio chose to stay dead. That's a plot point that people seem to forget, is that Kaio chose to stay dead in the Cell arc at the end of the Cell games. That was his choice. He chose to not be wished back when Shenlong wished everyone back. He chose not to. And I think it's kind of dumb that he's making such a big deal about it now. Honestly, I thought it was kind of dumb that he chose to stay dead in the first place, and now it's just now he's, bitching that he wants to come back, and yeah, it was always kind of a dumb thing, and now it's kind of a dumber thing, and then just making an entire gag episode around it was just kind of personally annoying to me. That being said, though, it isn't necessarily a bad episode. It's just, this, the issue with Kaio is just more of a personal gripe for me, and it was just a harmless gag episode, but it's one that I didn't even find remotely funny. None of the jokes landed. I didn't find it funny, and the whole episode's purpose is to make me laugh, and it didn't do that even once. Not saying it's a complete and utter loss. I will say that I definitely liked the one thing that really stood out to me was a scene with 18, where 18 was just I want to wish to find out, what Kuririn really wants, because all these years of being with him, she really doesn't know what he would want most. She's never really done anything for him, and Bulma has that great scene of, what he would say, he would say he wants you and Marin, that's all that really matters to him. That's the most precious thing to him, and you get the warm and fuzzies in that moment. It was a really great little exchange between her and Bulma, and I love every time they do something with 18 in the series, because every time, 18 has had some of the best treatment in this series, when it just comes to her character, and just kind of just showing that, no, she isn't just, some greedy bitch who's just kind of a cunt to Kuririn and just, constantly bosses him around and stuff. It's she does care. She does genuinely care, and she has this softer side to her, and, she is that loving wife and, kind-hearted mother, on top of just being, this hard-ass fighter, and that's pretty cool. Also, I did like the thing with Pan, where it's can you heal Pan? Because it's they put the wish to a good use. Someone had a legitimate reason for it. And the thing that gets me about this episode, if there's any issue I have with it besides me just not liking the premise of the whole Kaio thing, is the whole wishes. It's you only need one wish to bring Kaio back, but, you can use the other wish for one of us. It's well, that's not necessarily true, because there's 3 of them that died. It's Kaio, Gregory, and Bubbles, and, you need 3 wishes to wish them back, because they've all been dead for longer than a year. So one wish would not have wished all 3 of them back, and I don't know if they were even going to, acknowledge that. If they had ever decided to wish Kaio back, I wonder if they would just do it in one wish, or if they would just completely fucking forget and just wish back all 3 with a single wish, regardless of that making sense. Like I said, not really worth mentioning. It's a completely run-of-the-mill episode. Did absolutely nothing for me. But it's not bad, it's not good, it exists, and that's all I can say about it. Next episode, though, it certainly exists, and Jesus Christ, that I enjoy every goddamn second of this episode. This is, like episode 69. It was the Dr. Slump crossover episode, and Jesus Christ, man, I have not laughed this hard at Dragon Ball anything. This is by far the funniest episode. Like, people will always point to, like, the driver's license episode as the funniest episode of Dragon Ball ever. Nah, man, this episode fucking buries that one. Like, Goku and Arale, everything about this episode. Like, first off, it starts off, like, after you get past the Dragon Ball Super theme, it starts off with the Dr. Slump theme. And, it has this great little intro sequence that shows you, like, all of the classic Dr. Slump characters. And, like, part of me wants to call kind of bullshit because they all look exactly the same as they do at the end of the Dr. Slump series. Like, pretty much they all look exactly the same as they did when they crossed over with Goku the first time. And that was, like, what, 40 years ago now? So it's like, Senbei should be way fucking old. All these teenage characters should look like adults. Turbo should not be a baby. But at the same time, I'm like, but like they kind of like reinforce this idea, like they're gag manga characters. They're gag manga characters. They're gag manga characters. Physics don't apply to them, and it's just like, yeah, all right. like it doesn't have to make sense. Anything with those characters just does not have to make sense because they are from a gag manga. Like, they start off with the Dr. Slump theme from, like, the early 80s, maybe late 70s. I think it was just the early 80s. And it just, it does that, and that was fantastic. And then you go into the actual episode, like the whole bulk of the concept where Senbei is, competing in some sort of, like, inventors competition. And he's competing against Bulma and some other nameless, faceless scientists that we never fucking see in West City. And, of course, Goku is acting as the bodyguard outside of it. And he's got his hair all slicked back, trying to look professional. I guess people were, like, throwing a hissy fit because a Saiyan's hair can never change from the time they're born. It's such a weird, ambiguous statement. It's like every time, like, people keep trying to point this, like things not being canon or going up against continuity. It's like, guys, just because Vegeta has that one little ambiguous line does not mean a Saiyan's hair cannot, like, be cut, or a Saiyan's hair cannot be combed, or anything like that, or that they can't grow facial hair. Like, people seem to have this weird thing that, like they'll point to GT and be like, oh, Vegeta has cut hair and a mustache. His hair isn't supposed to change from the time he's born. It's like, he got a haircut, and it doesn't apply to facial hair. I don't think, King Vegeta was born with that bitchin' goatee. And the same thing goes here with Goku with his slick back hair. Like, you can fucking brush Saiyan hair. Like, just slick it back. I do find it really funny, though, that this is a gag that was also used in Dragon Ball Evolution, where Goku's going on his, going to meet Chi-Chi for, like, the party, hoping to impress, so he slicks his hair back, and it just and, like, splatters gel all over the mirror. And, like, it's basically the exact same gag. And I think it's really funny that Super would reuse a gag that was in Evolution. I wonder if whoever the hell was writing this, or who wrote that specific joke, was aware that that joke was in Dragon Ball Evolution. And if so, was that an intentional little wink nod to that? Because if so, that'd be pretty fucking funny. And speaking of things that are pretty fucking funny, like I said, everything in this episode makes me goddamn laugh. Like everything, like every little Dr. Slump reference. Now, I'm not like a huge Dr. Slump fan. Like, in fact, I don't know that much, in all honesty. I've read the first chapter of the manga. I've watched the Harmony Gold dub of the first episode, and I've watched the movies that are in the movie 5-pack. Like, I've seen that stuff. And I've seen, of course, the original Dragon Ball crossover episode. And that's really all I've seen of Dr. Slump. Like, I know a fair amount about it. But honestly, like, even not knowing things, like, they do give you enough context for things that make sense. When Dr. Masahiro shows up, and Dr. Slump, or Senbei Norimaki, is just like, wait a second, he's just like, you died in the manga. It's just like, you died in the original manga. You shouldn't be here. He goes, aha, I am a ghost. I escaped from hell. It's just like, wow, you're actually acknowledging Dr. Slump continuity. that's pretty wild, considering Super can't even keep track of Dragon Ball's own continuity. And even little things like, something I didn't even notice was the machine that Senbei creates is the Reality Machine number 2. First off, I love the design of this thing, because he keeps making these, because in Dr. Slump, he would always make these weird-ass inventions, and they were always like these weird sentient talking things that looked like other things, and they really shouldn't even function. It's just, it was weird, and because it's Dr. Slump, because it's weird, and he made one of those weird inventions for this. It's like this weird sentient, like, crock pot thing, and, you know, that creates whatever you can think of. Well, something I was not aware of, and something that Uncanny Megan pointed out to me, because she's actually read the manga, she's read the entire manga, so she was able to fill me in on this. The reality, it's called Reality Machine number 2 because he had a Reality Machine number 1 in the manga. Once again, it's actually referencing something from old Dr. Slump, and, actually keeping track of its own continuity. It was pretty awesome. Other things that were awesome were Vegeta and Arale just fucking duking it out. Every part of that was amazing. From Vegeta just being like, okay, takes his fighting stance, and he just gets knocked through a fucking wall, and he's just like, oh shit, she's a gag manga character. And he punches the shit out of her, sends her flying into the skies. It's like, ha! And next thing you know, she comes flying back around and just foot plants him right in the goddamn head. Slams him into the ground. He's like, how did she get around the world that fast? Oh no, of course, she's a gag character. I can't use battle manga tactics against her. And every bit of that was amazing. And then it got even better when Goku steps in and Goku goes, SSGSS, and he fucking fires a Kamehameha, and she fucking just negates his thing, and then she goes, her same little beam attack, but times 100, and he's just like, times 100, shit. And it's like, Goku, can you stop that? And he's just like, I don't know. Oh my god. And then Bulma, pointing the camera at the reality machine, and it's just like, quick, think of the most delicious food you can think of, and it's just, he creates this weird condensed ball of just when it's just pure food flavored stuff, and it wakes Beers up, and Beers just shows up there in record time, and Beers eats the food, and he's just just in ecstasy over how delicious it is, and just fucking Arale just shows up, and it's like, kitty, I want to play with the kitty. Actually, no, before even Arale does that, Mascherino starts bitching at Beers, and Beers just puts his hand up to him, just obliterates him. Because, of course, Beers is not a gag manga character. He is not putting up with this gag manga bullshit. He just fucking obliterates the guy. And Whis is just yeah, it's he's the god of destruction. Even a ghost, he can fucking destroy. It's fucking great. So he wipes out Dr. Mascherino, then leads into him about to take out Arale because, Arale was annoying him. And then he just gets a case of the wicked shits and bolts. And it's such a Dr. Slump gag moment thing. It's just because I'm like, how are they gonna... And then he's just it's like, get me the fuck out of here. I gotta shit. Such a great episode. Like I said, there's nothing to deconstruct or analyze about it. All I can really do is just talk about each thing, just how goddamn funny it was, and just how everything worked for me on every level. The only way this episode really could have been better for me personally is if I would say, instead of starting with the Dragon Ball Super intro, they just made a Dr. Slump intro. If they just done the Dragon Ball Super intro with Dr. Slump characters, with the Dr. Slump theme or something. I feel just completely removing the Doctor or the Dragon Ball Super intro entirely, or maybe just throwing some Slump characters into the intro. Something like that would have been really cool, but honestly, that's such a minor nitpick. It's not even an issue. It's just something I thought would have been cool to see. Because it's cool that, we actually still get, the Dr. Slump theme song and stuff, but, we could have had, a little bit more time for, gags and stuff, and if they had just, removed the Super intro and just put the Dr. Slump intro, but, animation, budget, Toei's fucking cheap, so I can't be too surprised that they did it the way that they did. Because, the less original animation you have to make, the cheaper it is for them. And Toei's pretty goddamn cheap. But But yeah, this episode's amazing. Fucking 10 out of 10. Honestly, this is just one of those things where I'm like, can we just cancel Dragon Ball Super and get Dr. Slump Super? Because Toei's writers are a lot better at writing gag manga shit than they are just trying to like write Dragon Ball Super, for fuck's sake. And then we go on to the next episode of Dragon Ball Super, which is Champa shows up and challenges Beerus to a friendly ball game, which really he's just using his excuse to eat Earth's food. And, you know, it's Team Universe 7 versus Team Universe 6. And Yamcha is, like, you know, really gets to take center stage. And shenanigans break loose. And Yamcha, like, you know, scores the win for everyone in the most humiliating and hilarious way possible. It is... yeah, this is just another fantastic episode. And this kind of just goes back to, like, this thing that I keep saying, that, like, something that Super really does well is these little slice of life, little fun episodes. Like, you know, when it comes to hitting, like a good little emotional moment, or just, you know, doing, like, a fun little scene that's, like, a little wink nod to the fans, like, it's really good at doing that. And this, honestly, this felt like the most gag episode of anything Dragon Ball related that didn't have Dr. Slump in it. Like, Dr. Slump was just a straight gag episode because it had Dr. Slump characters. This was just a straight Dragon Ball episode, but it felt so gag heavy. It felt so, like, self-aware of what it was, that it was clearly, like, this parody wink nod thing. Made kind of a few meta references here and there. And just, it had a lot of fun with the concept. Because, I mean, like, this was, like, the driver's license episode, like, cranked up to 11. Like, this was just, like everything. They just did every little silly thing that you could imagine in this ball game. From Goku starting off, going SSGSS and doing this huge power pitch that completely obliterates the pitcher's mound. And Gohan's just like, whoo, oh, that nearly vaporized me. Which I love how Champa is just like, man, you're really tough to have taken that. And I could hear, like, the Gohan fanboys and fangirls in the distance squealing, like, they said Gohan's tough. Maybe that means he's gonna come back. Oh man, keep dreaming, guys. You keep holding on to that dream. But yeah, it was like, you know, Goku does that crazy super pitch, and then it's just like, Goku, not so fucking crazy. Like take that back a little. So then, like, he powers down, he does a super slow pitch, and Champa gets pissed off and, like, knocks that bitch off into a foul ball. And it's just like, the foul ball doesn't count. It's just like, ugh. So then Goku goes for, like, a more normal pitch, and he, like, friggin' Champa knocks it up into the air, and just like, yeah, home run. He's just, like, strutting, being all smug. And Trunks just very nonchalantly just, like, and it's such great comedic timing, too. Just puts his hand up, ki blasts it out of the air, and just catches it, and Champa's just like, what? That's cheating, right? You're not allowed to do that, right? And it's just like, no, there's nothing in the rulebook about using a ki blast to take the ball down. It's just like, son of a bitch. They swap out Goku with Yamcha for the pitcher's mound, and this is just fantastic, because, like, everyone's just, this entire fucking time, this episode, just so many people are riffing on Yamcha, and it's just, it kind of feels like this weird audience surrogate moment where like, kind of like the community would, like, riff on Yamcha, but now it's just like the fucking characters are doing it. Like, I mean, Yamcha's a bit of a joke in the fandom, and, I mean, like, the show definitely has treated him as the punching bag, but here, like, now the characters are acknowledging that Gohan, or that Yamcha is the punching bag. So, like, it's kind of weird, and, like, once again, it's that kind of weird meta humor that you don't really expect to hear from the series. And, like, it gives Yamcha his cool, kind of, like, his time to shine moments, while also kind of playing up that he has kind of become the butt of the jokes of this fandom, which is pretty funny and clever, something I wasn't really expecting. Other things I were not expecting was when he does his Roga Fufu. Oh shit, I forgot exactly what the name was, but they translated it as, like, Wolfang pitch in the sub, but it's like the Roga Fufu Ken pitching technique, and he just, and so he combines that with his Sokidan, and he just, like, you know, manipulates the ball to just go around people's bats and stuff so they can't hit him. And it's just like, yeah, yes, my new technique, and people are still fucking riffing. Even though he's doing a great job here, he takes out Batamo, he takes out fucking Kaba, and they're just like, man, he's not even a martial artist anymore. It's just like, oh, come on, guys, cut the fucker a break. And like, you get like fucking Yamcha versus Vegeta, where Vegeta's pitching, and it's just, and I'm like, oh man, this is like, because Yamcha's just like, I'm not gonna let Vegeta beat me in this, and it's like, I feel like this is also like a weird meta thing, like like maybe Yamcha should have some animosity towards Vegeta because Vegeta took his woman kind of thing, but it's something that like the show's never really touched on before, ever. So like you never know if there actually is animosity between them for this, but now like but now I guess like they're kind of hinting at it, and then just fucking Vegeta pegs the shit out of Yamcha with a fucking baseball, like just crushes his ribs and collapses him on the floor or on the ground, and he's just like take your base, Vegeta, you can't hit fuckers with the ball. So Yamcha takes his base. He has that beautiful moment where he's just like looking up into the sky. He's like, the sky's beautiful today. Am I gonna make it home alive? It's like, Jesus Christ. It's like Yamcha is aware of his place in the universe, that every time that he is like an active agent in any story, he's going to get fucking like brutalized or killed, or something bad's going on. He's gonna get maimed or killed or something. And like even he is aware of his own like presence and place in this franchise, of just like how fucked he really is in this situation, regardless of him being the experienced baseball player. And then of course, when you have like the two main characters jump in, where it's just like Vegeta pitching against Goku, and they're both SSGSS and they're both fighting back, and then Yamcha goes to steal a base and Goku just ends up knocking the ball in the air. And Vegeta catches it, and Champa and Bolton just like fucking nail the shit out of Yamcha, instead of flipping it to the air and poof, onto the base. It's like, that doesn't count. You knocked the shit out of the guy. He's safe. You didn't even hit him with the ball. And then of course, like the ball gets knocked up in the air again, and like Champa catches it and then pegs fucking Yamcha in the back and drops him onto the base. It's like, you hit him with the ball. You need to be holding the ball when you touch him with the ball. You can't just hit him with the fucking ball. So it's this great thing of like, they have no fucking clue how to play baseball. They're getting the rules horribly wrong, and Yamcha is just a fucking punching bag this entire goddamn episode. And like, you kind of feel sorry for the guy, but also, it's once again, it's that self-aware wink nod of Yamcha's place in this fucking universe, unfortunately. And then this whole thing just blows up to the God's Destruction like just duking it out, because they get into this petty fucking argument, and it kind of like they make this whole like Goku even has like a throwback to like, oh shit, God's Instruction aren't supposed to fight. Like, if they fight, the universe could end. Oh shit. And like, like they're clashing and lightning, and just everything's about to fucking just go to hell, and like Vados and Whis show up to like, nope, stop it, Champa, Beers, break that shit up. You guys aren't allowed to fight. You know the fucking rules. Also, we said no destruction of any kind. It's supposed to be a friendly game. You fucked up. Game over. And they're like, okay, well, it's a tie then. Actually, no. Yamcha made it to the base. So, Universe 7 scored a point. They win. And you fucking see Yamcha. And then, like, I was wondering if we were going to... Because whenever he got pegged with the ball, I was kind of disappointed that he wasn't crippled over in that pose from when he got blown up by the Cybermen. But then you see him, like, at the end of the fucking thing. He's, like, in that, like, the fucking pose from when he got fucking self-destructed. It's just, like, this kind of weirdly, like, comedic, triumphant music of, like, yeah, Yamcha did it. And, like, they all run up to, like, see him. And it's just like, oh, man. That pose is awfully familiar. Yeah, it's kind of brings up some bad memories. Yeah. Ooh. Just Yamcha just on the ground and just blacks out episode, and it was just, oh my god, this episode was so good. Once again, just like the last episode, from top to bottom, was a fantastic comedic episode, and it really shows that Dragon Ball Super is so much better as a slice of life series. It is way more interesting than it's ever been as like some sort of serious action-based storyline. Like, just like these writers, like what their strengths are just like, cute character moments, kind of self-aware tongue-in-cheek moments, and just comedy. That is where these guys' strengths lie. When it comes to telling like a serious narrative and having like pacing and build-ups and payoffs and just telling like some sort of tight narrative and like a bigger, grander story, even when friggin' Toriyama is handing them the guidelines of what to make, like how to make the story, and they fuck it up. They like super fuck it up. And no, that wasn't a pun. I'm just saying that they fuck it up on a grand scale. So yeah, like I just it's stuff like this that just makes me wish that Super were just a slice of life series, because it's the only thing these guys ever get fucking right. Like almost every fucking slice of life episode has been great. And even like, you know, when it's not slice of life episodes, there are great slice of life scenes in certain episodes that make me go, oh man, that's a great episode. Like, you know, or like that was a great part of this episode. The rest of the episode kind of sucked, but that was a great part. Even from the very beginning of this series, like even like the Battle of Gods arc has great slice of life moments between characters, and it really makes me wish that had been like what this series was. Because like I said, like they just can't do fucking like serious like action-oriented stories. They're not the type of writing staff you need for that. But unfortunately, it is the series that it is. And unfortunately, these slice of life stories are just going to be like these little things that we get every now and again. And, you know, yes, I am well aware that the next thing is going to be like this short little hit filler arc. And I don't give a shit. I really don't. Like, at all. Like, some people are like really like, oh man, like we're gonna see Hit do cool shit. It's like Hit was like a boring fucking character in the Universe 6 or Universe whatever fucking tournament arc. Like, he was fucking boring there. He had no fucking personality. I don't really see this filler arc kind of expanding on him that much. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But like they're gonna try and do like a little serious filler arc. And last time they did that, we got fucking Copy Vegeta, which was a goddamn travesty. So no, I don't fucking trust them to do like an original serious storyline. And apparently a lot of people thought that this was going to be like the next big arc, and I'm like, no, it's not. Like they said that the next big arc was going to be announced in December for a specific event, and Toyotaro even said that he's behind now in the manga, but soon he's going to be ahead of the anime. So for that to be the case, like the next big arc can't be happening yet. So I already knew that this fucking Hit arc wasn't gonna be anything. It's not gonna be much. So, and we already know now it isn't much, and that there's gonna be a few more little standalone filler episodes. And yes, I am well aware that the next arc is gonna be the the Universal Survival arc, and that's like, you know, that might be cool. I don't know. 17's involved. That's like the only thing that interests me. And honestly, I'm only interested because we might get some really cool character moments from him. But yeah, honestly, I don't give a shit about the Hit stuff. And I'm probably not going to review that on an episode-to-episode basis. I'm just going to wait till all those episodes are out and then review them all in one go. And yeah. So this review went on a little bit longer than I intended. I guess I had a smidge more to say than I thought I did. Mostly because I'm a rambling dipshit, but whatever. So yeah, like that's what I thought. I do have a video coming up in the near future about like a channel update, because there's some things I need to get across to people, because I really need to make some changes, and you'll find out about those changes in the near future when I make that video. But yeah, until next time, guys, Xeon out.